Welcome to this 20-minute full body mat Pilates workout. Today we're going to work out our arms, our core, our glutes for a full body strengthening session. Let's begin our session today seated at the end of your mat, and then slowly on your breath out you're going to draw your belly button in and start performing your little half roll-ups. Really press evenly into both feet as you roll down halfway and then roll back up. So breathing out as you roll down, breathing in as you roll up. We've got 10 reps here, really getting into those deep abdominal muscles. Lovely work. You've got one more like this, and then on your next one, you're going to roll yourself all the way down to the ground. Extend your arms over your head and then roll all the way back up to seated. So breathe out as you roll down, breathe in as you lift your arms over your head, and then breathe out to come all the way back up again. Again, make sure that you're pressing your feet into the ground and that your knees stay parallel all the way through. Don't let them drop in. Really focus on the articulation of your spine as you roll yourself down and come back up. So on the way down, you really want to focus about putting one vertebra down at a time, and then same thing coming up. You're lifting one vertebra up at a time, making sure that your lower back is the last thing to come off the ground. Good job. You've got one more full rep like this. And then on your next one, on your breath out, lift one leg up to tabletop, and then we're going back into those half roll-ups. This time it's going to be a little bit more challenging because you only have one leg pressed into the ground, so you're a little bit more unstable, but you've got this. Keep breathing through it. The closer you keep your knee in towards your chest, the harder it will be. Once you've done your 5, switch legs and repeat on the other side. Pop your leg back down, and then we're moving into our rollbacks, the fun stuff. So hover your legs just off the ground, keep your core nice and tight, and then on your breath out you're going to let your whole weight go back to roll over onto your shoulders and then come back up. The idea is that as you come to sit up, you really want to catch your weight, so this is really going to challenge your balance and your stability. It's okay if you need to tap your toes down, just try and not place your weight all the way back down into seated. We're going to do 10 of these. Not only is this a super fun exercise, but also it feels great on the back. It's almost like a little massage. You've just got one more. And then place your feet back down and then shuffle yourself a little bit further forward if you have to. Arms out in front, and you're going to roll yourself all the way back down to lay on the ground. Place your feet a little bit closer in towards your hips, and then on your next breath out you're going to lift your arms up towards the ceiling, shoulders and the head come off the floor, legs come into tabletop, and we're going to begin with our dead bug. So opposite arm and leg extend away from the center of the body, and you're going to alternate sides. We have 20 reps here alternating, so 10 on each side. Make sure that as you're doing it, you're really thinking about drawing your belly button down in towards your spine and imprinting your lower back into the mat. So as you extend, you want to make sure that the back stays connected to the ground. So only bring your leg as far down as you can still control your core. Connect to your breath and breathe out on the hardest part of the exercise. Whatever you find the most difficult, that is when you want to be breathing out. Well done. Pop your feet and arms back down, and then you're going to extend your legs away. One arm comes overhead, one comes to the side, and on your breath out you're going to lift up, and that arm that is over your head is going to come up towards the ceiling to meet your opposite leg in the middle. We're going to do 10 reps here. As we're working across the body, this is really going to get into your obliques. Last one, and then go straight onto the other side. Really stretching that bottom leg away from the center of your body so you've got a lovely pull working across your whole body. Breathe in as you lower and breathe out to crunch up. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Well done. I'm sure you're feeling your core by now. Step your feet back in towards your hips, and then we're going to start with our shoulder bridges. So the same way we articulated through the spine earlier on our roll downs, you're going to articulate through your spine to slowly lift your hips up towards your shoulder bridge, working one vertebra at a time. So on your way back down, imagine that your spine is a string of beads and you're trying to place one bead back on the ground at a time. Keep drawing your belly button in towards your spine and really squeeze your glutes at the top of your shoulder bridge. On your next one, you're going to roll all the way to the top, stay in that shoulder bridge, and then one leg is coming up to tabletop, and you're going to slowly tap your toes back down and then bring it back up. Keep squeezing those glutes, keep drawing that belly button in. Make sure your hips stay nice and level as you do this. Once you've done your 10, that leg stays in tabletop, and then you're going to point away from your body and then bring it back in. So again, hips are staying up, core is nice and tight, you're pressing your arms into the floor for stability. You've got another 10 reps here. Staying on that same leg, hips are still up. You're going to extend your leg up towards the ceiling, and we're going for little hip circles. You're going to do 10 one way and then 10 the other way. Again, make sure your hips are staying nice and level, don't let them dip. Lovely work. Drop your leg back down and then roll yourself all the way down to the ground. Take a nice deep breath in, because then you're going to come straight back up and redo all of that on the other side. Starting with your leg in tabletop, tap your toes back to the mat and then come back up. Once you've done your 10 legs, we're going straight into that leg extending away in a diagonal and then coming back in. You've got another 10 reps here. I'm sure that you're feeling your glutes by now, so keep breathing through it. You're doing so great. Straighten that leg up towards the ceiling, and we've got your hip circles again. So 10 going in one direction and then 10 reversing. You're almost there. And reverse your circles. Keep squeezing that leg in nice and straight up towards the ceiling. Drop your leg back down, roll yourself all the way down to the mat, and then we're going to do a little variation of our shoulder bridges. As you did at the beginning, you're going to roll all the way through your spine to come up to that shoulder bridge. Open your knees at the top, squeeze back in, and then roll all the way back down to the mat. You've got 10 reps like this. You should definitely be feeling the burn by now. I know I am. On this rep, you're going to stay at the top, and then we're going for little pulses where you squeeze the glutes in. If you want to add a little extra challenge and make yourself a little more unstable, raise your hands up towards the ceiling. Good job. Moving into our side work, you're going to come into a side laying position with your bottom leg bent and your top leg extended. We're going to start with some glute and hip work. So pointing your toes away from your body, make sure that your waist is nice and lifted. Just going to start by lifting that leg up and down. Make sure that you're not going too high, so you're not dipping in your waist. You want to keep everything stable apart from that leg moving up and down. From here, you're going to bring your knee up in towards your chest, extend out, and then flex your foot as you bring your leg all the way back down to your starting position. So you're doing a bicycle motion. We again have 10 reps here, and the rest of the body stays nice and still. You have one more in this direction, and then we're going to reverse it. So this time, straight leg up, out in front of you, bring that knee in, and then press with your heel away from your body. Again, we have 10 reps here. Make sure that you're connecting to the breath. So breathe in as that leg comes up, breathe out as you press away. Good job. Keep that leg extended, point your toes, and we're again going for little hip circles. So 10 in one direction, and then yes, you guessed it, we're going to reverse. And reverse your hip circles. You might find that circling in one direction is easier than the other. This is completely normal. Just take the time to really focus on your movement. Good job. Give that glute a little tap out. And then when you're ready, come up, staying on the same side, come up into a half plank position. So you're going to be up on a straight arm, bottom leg bent, so you're on your knee and top leg is extended. And we're going to repeat all of those movements, but this time in this half plank position. So starting with your leg raises. Really focus on your movement here because your glutes are already fatiguing. So our form is everything. Bring in that knee in, extend out in front of you, and then straight leg, bring it back in line with your body. We've got our bicycles and we're going for 10. Point your toes as you point away, and then flex as you bring that leg back. And reversing our circle, so this time pointed foot as you bring your leg in front. Bring the knee in towards your chest, and then flex your foot, push your heel away to bring the leg back in line. Make sure you're staying nice and lifted through the oblique. This is very much a full body movement. Everything is engaged, everything is working, and I'm sure everything is burning, but you've got this. Moving into our hip circles next. We have 10 circles forward and then 10 circles back. Well done. Come back down into seated. Again, give that glute a little tap out and then make your way over to the other side because we're going to repeat both of those flows starting inside laying. So our bottom leg is bent, top leg is extended, waist is lifted, and we're going for our leg raises. You've got 10 reps. One more, and then moving into our bicycles. So knee in towards your chest, pointed toe extends out in front of you, and then flexed foot as you bring your leg back in line with the body. Got another 10 reps. You might notice that this side is already feeling a little bit more tired because it's already more fatigued. This is completely normal. Just focus on the quality of the movement. And reverse your bicycles. So this time, straight leg up out in front of you, knee in towards your chest, and then flexed foot as you push the leg down. Check in with your core, make sure that your waist is still lifted and you're not dipping towards the mat. Good job. We've got extended leg and hip circles. 10 forwards and then 10 backwards. And now reverse your circles. Lovely work. Place your leg back down, tap that glute out, And then you know what's coming. We're going to come into that half plank position on a straight arm, and we're going to repeat all of that on this leg. Wrist underneath your shoulder, waist lifted, top leg extended, and let's go into those 10 leg lifts. I'm sure your glutes are screaming at you by now, but you'll thank me one day. Keep squeezing through it, keep breathing through it. We're almost there. Bring the knee in towards your chest, extend the leg out, and then draw back straight. We've got our bicycles. Every time you bring your knee in towards your chest, try and bring it just a little bit closer each time. So you're really working through that hip flexion. And it's time to reverse our bicycles. So straight leg moves forward, knee in towards your chest, push the heel away. Last bicycle, and then we've got our hip circles. Leg extended and circle forward. Once you've done your 10, reverse your circles and let's go backwards. Well done. Bring your legs back down. Give that glute a well-deserved tap out. We're done with our glute section. When you're ready, bring yourself onto all fours, and then you're going to push your hips onto your heels into a child's pose. Walk your hands forward, press your chest down towards the ground, and just enjoy this release for a few seconds. When you're ready, bring yourself back up, and then we're coming into a half kneeling plank position. We're going to go and begin with our wide press ups. So keep the belly button drawn in, squeeze the glutes, and then you're going to bring your chest down towards the mat on your breath in, and then breathe out as you push back up. We're aiming for 8 reps here. One more, you've got this. Good job. Push your hips back onto your heels, and we're going into that child's pose one more time. Nice deep breath here. And then coming back up into a full plank this time. You're going to keep that core nice and engaged, and then we're going to lift one leg up at a time. Make sure that as you do this, you're not dipping in your hips and you're not arching your lower back, so everything stays nice and connected. You have 10 reps alternating, lifting your legs up towards the ceiling. Once you've done your 10, we're going to start stepping our feet out. So again, 10 alternating, bringing in the feet as far to the side as you can, while still keeping your hips and everything else nice and level. Good job. Moving straight into our dolphin plank. So from your plank position, you're going to pack your hips up towards the ceiling, coming into a pyramid, and then working your way back through into your tall plank position. Each time you push your hips up, really try and bring your chest a little bit closer in towards your legs to intensify that stretch a little bit more. Well done, you've just got 2 more. Good job. Pop your knees back down so you're in 4-point kneeling. And last little bit of mobility work, you're going to keep your core nice and engaged, and one arm at a time you're just going to lift as high as you can without moving the rest of your body. So we're just working on our shoulder mobility here. Once you've done your 10 reps on one side, switch to the other arm. Keep pushing into your shins evenly so your weight is right in the middle. And last little bit, I promise, staying in that 4-point kneeling, you're going to take one knee and then again drive it as close to your chest as you can. We've got mini pulses like this. You've got 10 reps on one side and then 10 reps on the other side, and then we'll stretch it out. And switch legs. Well done, amazing work. This was a really tough workout. Tuck your toes under and then push your hips up towards the ceiling into the pyramid. Stay there for a few seconds, and then if you want to, you can paddle your feet just to stretch out your hamstrings a little bit more. Take nice deep breaths as you do this. Start walking your hands back towards your feet, and we're just going to hang over. So this is a really lovely position to decompress your spine and get a lovely stretch down the hamstrings. On your next breath out, pull your belly button up, and we're slowly going to roll up one vertebra at a time. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me today. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe for more weekly Pilates videos.